Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One. Thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Breitling TransOcean Reno Air Races 50th Anniversary Limited Edition of 50 pieces. You can see this 43mm commemorative chronograph on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can say two things about this watch right off the bat. First, the proportions and the details are directly inspired by the early 1960s Breitling reference 810 top time chronographs. The layout of the dial, the shape of the case, the shape of the lugs directly recall one of Breitling's premier chronographs for aviators at the time the Reno Air Races were established. And second, this watch is far larger than its historical predecessor. 43mm across the round of the case, not including the chronograph pushers and the crown. The watch is also fairly thick, 14.5mm, but viable with a tighter sleeve or dress cuff because of the conical bezel and a domed sapphire that's nicely stepped to resemble the acrylic of an early 1960s Breitling, and because of that dramatic curvature, it actually gives a tight sleeve a nice start up and over the flank of the case. So this watch is surprisingly viable with formal attire, despite its outright thickness. Now from lug to lug, the watch really shows its age, or lack thereof. Very much a product of the modern era, it is 55mm from extremity to extremity across the wrist, and it does wear with a satisfying heft that reminds you you are wearing a precious watch. Not precious metal, but precious in the truest sense, beautifully made and thoughtfully designed. Now you can also see that the strap is a classic aviator's combination. A very supple black calfskin, generously bolstered for thickness and substance. It also features a dramatic contrasting stitch, again for that vintage effect. Beautiful calfskin matching on the bottom, very soft against the wrist. The watch features a very traditional, easily adjusted, polished pin buckle, so you can quickly adjust the watch on the fly on the wrist, and it maintains the vintage vibe of the special commemorative edition. Now the dial and the case are handsome because they evoke a time-tested predecessor. The 810 top times are already classics and living legends, so to draw from that historical wealth is absolutely appropriate in this case and highly successful in its execution. You can also see that the watch is mostly dial. The bezel pared down to emphasize the vintage elements at center, starting with the tachymetric scale integral to the dial and continuing in the layout of the dial, tri-compacts very much like its Venus 178 powered predecessor from the early 60s, and a very subtle and thoughtful nod to vintage conventions. You can see the slash marks at 3, 6, and 9 on the minutes counter at 3 o'clock. These nod and a wink to the mid-20th century transatlantic long-distance billing conventions, whereby the cost of a long-distance call would be stepped up at 3, 6, and 9 minutes. Again, a feature of its historical forebear, nicely included, and there is a subtle and high-class nod to the Reno Air Races themselves at 12 o'clock. Established in 1964, initially using hot-rodded World War II fighter aircraft, today there are 6 separate classes of aircraft, but with 30 fatalities since the foundation of the races, it's one of the few forms of motorsports where both competitors and spectators need to have tremendous mettle to participate. On the caseback, here's an exception that you rarely see in the world of Breitling. While Sapphire display casebacks have become common throughout the industry, it is incredibly rare to see them on Breitling products. Here you have a combination of 50th anniversary Reno Air Race commemorative graphics and an easy view of Breitling's in-house caliber B01. Now the B01 debuted in 2009, in a lot of ways a return to form by Breitling, which was one of the most important innovators in chronograph technology in the early 20th century. Once again, a complete manufacture, Breitling invests this watch with a crisp column wheel for selecting functions, a vertical clutch for smooth engagement of the chronograph seconds hand, and a 3-day power reserve. This is a sophisticated in-house caliber, and Breitling rightly shows it off, proud of their work. It's both a COSC certified Swiss chronometer and capable of hacking seconds, so when you pull the crown, you stop the balance precisely synchronized to a known accurate reference time, or, should you be an aviator at Reno, a race timer. The watch also features a quick set for the date function, so should this watch run down, you can easily reset the date. Or if you encounter an irregular length month, you can do the same. Now, it is a sophisticated modern chronograph caliber combined with a gorgeous, traditionally styled case and dial. This is a watch that succeeds on all counts, and if you are a Reno race fan, all the better. With 100-meter water resistance, should you put this watch on a bracelet or a textile strap, it's ready for just about any kind of fun in the sun or under the waves you might encounter this summer 2016. You can see this commemorative Breitling TransOcean Reno Air Race chronograph and purchase it on our website, watchyouwant.com.